How about this? A bold prediction from a billionaire investor, Jeff Gundlach, saying in his annual webcast yesterday, quote, "My prediction for 2018 is that the S&P 500 will have a negative rate of return." Is he right? Let's bring in Alger CEO Dan Chung. Dan, that's quite something considering what we've seen on the market so far. Do you believe we'll get a negative return on the S&P this year?
No, I don't believe we'll get a negative return. The economy is too strong, and usually you don't really see corrections in the stock market until a recession is in sight. And we don't see that this year. The Alger analyst team has scoured a lot of industries and asked a lot of questions, and we think 2018 is going to be a pretty good year.
We did see the market down today. News that China wasn't going to buy into U.S. debt. The Bank of Japan may be tightening its monetary policy, and the fact that, you know, the bond rates are starting to go up. All of this negative for the market. But, you know, again, as we've seen so many times, this market, even though it was down 120 points on the Dow early today, has now basically clawed its way back to flat. If we do have a correction, what's going to cause it, and when do you think it will come?
Well, actually, I happen to agree with Bill Gross, who said that he thinks bonds have entered into a bear market. It's long been our analysis here that rising interest rates are going to be modest, but nevertheless will mean the end of a great bond market. But that doesn't necessarily spell ill things for equities. In fact, a little bit of interest rate increase, a little bit of inflation is usually greeted by the stock market as a positive. And so we actually think that's supportive to what we would call a great rotation back to equities from bonds.
Very quickly, Dan, I've got about 30 seconds. What sectors do you like this year?
So we continue to like what's happening in technology and in the healthcare sector, both driven by great secular trends. But I think this year we're adding and increasingly believers that the financial sector will be one of the top performers. Industrials as well, actually, is another area. You know, people missed, I think, that in the last 3 years, industrials, many parts of the industrial sector really went through a bit of a recession of their own, coming down from the energy bubble that we had. But they've now stabilized, and so we actually think, you know, adding some financials, adding some industrials is a good move in 2018.
Dan Chung, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. The closing bell is going to be going in about 10 seconds. We're trying to claw back. Any gain today on the Dow will be a record. Are we going to get there? We'll have to wait and see. Let's go over now to Dave Asman and Cheryl Casoni for After the Bell.